Hey guys, Slendy here for BFNations. Do you have your hands on Battlefield 1 Incursions? Because I'm in this video gonna teach you all the basics, with more videos to follow going into more depth of certain things. First of all, and first unwritten rule of Incursions I would say is forget everything you know about normal Battlefield 1. Okay, maybe not everything, but think of this as a whole new experience, because it is. One of the biggest differences is that in Incursions there are only 5 players per team. So what you can't forget about here is that any mistakes you or your teammates make will matter a lot more than it does in the base game. Think of it like this: if you're playing 32 versus 32, 24 versus 24, or even 12 versus 12 players, you will have 11 teammates to rely on. So even if you're having a bad day, your teammates can still take care of a lot of the work in each match. But in Incursions, you only have 4 teammates to rely on, meaning that it's crucial that every player is doing their job in order for your team to win. With this being said, what is your job in Incursions? Well, that is not a question I can answer straight away, because the answer to this question depends on 2 things. Firstly being the map that you're on, and secondly being the class that you pick. There are currently 3 maps supported in Incursions: Giant Shadow Redux, Sinai Desert Redux, and Amiens Redux. While Amiens and Giant Shadow are more close quarter based and Sinai has a few more distance engagements, you may want to pick classes accordingly, but we will get to that in a second. To play a match, all you have to do is hit the Find Match button. You will be able to see how many players are currently searching for a match and how many matches are going on. You obviously need at least 10 players to start a match. If there are currently not enough players searching for a match, then I recommend you head into the Incursions Discord server and ask people to start matchmaking in there. You can also spectate a match by clicking on Spectate Matches and then choosing the match you want to spectate. Before you actually start searching for a match yourself though, I suggest you go into the practice range. By doing this, you get a chance to take a look at all the available classes and the weapons/gadgets they have. Try and familiarize yourself with some of these, and feel free to run around and shoot a little to warm up. Once you feel that you are ready, feel free to exit the practice range and join a match. There are currently 3 maps as I mentioned. Amiens has the game mode called Squad Breakthrough. This is like a mini version of Operations, but with 1 flag instead of 2. One team is attacking and the other one is defending. The attacking team has to take 3 sectors, one at a time, by capping the flag fully before they lose all their 30 tickets, and the defenders have to obviously kill the attackers until they have no tickets left. Once either the tickets run out, the timer runs out, or the attackers have taken all 3 sectors, then it's halftime. After halftime, both teams will switch sides and repeat. Sinai Desert Redux has the game mode called King of the Hill, which revolves around a single flag per sector, just like on Amiens. But in this game mode, both teams are the attackers. It's about what team can hold the flag long enough to win a sector. Every time your team captures the flag, you will be awarded with 1 ticket. Every time your team controls the flag without multiple enemies contesting it, it will give you a ticket for each successful circle lap, which you can see at the top middle of your screen. If the enemy has the flag, try and contest it right before the circle is about to be done, and you will neutralize it for a moment, keeping the enemy team from getting a ticket. If a flag is captured but not contested by anyone, it will start uncapping itself. The first team to reach 10 tickets will win that sector and get 1 set. The first team to reach 4 sectors will win. However, a tiebreaker can occur if the score ends up with 3-3. In a tiebreaker, it's about what team can win 2 rounds in a row first. The match will continue until this happens. Giant Shadow has the game mode called Incursions. This mode has 3 flags in total. 1 home flag for each team and 1 flag in the middle. For the one team that control the middle flag, they will be able to unlock the enemy team's home flag, which they then can choose to push if they wish to. If they successfully capture the enemy team's home flag, then the middle flag will be locked, and the enemy team will not be able to spawn on their home flag anymore, but further back in their base, as they now have to retake their home flag. The match is played in 2 halves with 7 sets in the first half. The first team to win 8 sets in total will win the match, but a draw can also happen if the score ends up as 7-7 sets. To win a set, your team must get 10 tickets. Tickets can be earned in multiple ways. One kill on an enemy gives your team 1 ticket in the current set. Taking the enemy vehicle down will give you 1 ticket as well. Controlling the flag will also give you 2 tickets every time the circle lap is done and not contested. If you control the enemy home flag, you will get an extra ticket for every circle lap. If you do manage to wipe the entire enemy team, then you will be awarded with 3 tickets. So if you're the last man in your team, then please make sure you stay alive. Once a set is complete, the tickets will reset for both teams, and the next set will begin immediately. I'll make specific videos about these maps to cover more details and strats in the future. When you find a match, make sure to stay in the Incursions client to avoid crashing the server. If you really want to tab out, then I suggest using Alt plus Enter on your keyboard, as this will put the game in windowed mode instead. In the draft, you will notice that there are 3 class categories: the vehicle operators, the squad leaders, and the soldiers. You can have a maximum of 1 vehicle operator and squad leader per team. So for example, your team can't have a battle mechanic and a demolition driver at the same time, and it can't have a raid leader and a control leader at the same time. You can't have 2 teammates play the same class, which means that every player will have a unique role once the match starts. Remember that you can't change kit at any point during the match, so choose your kit wisely. I strongly recommend you prioritize the vehicle operator and the squad leader. The vehicle operators are the only classes that can use vehicles and are therefore very useful. Trust me, you do want a vehicle in your team. The squad leaders are just as important, if not more important, as they are the only guys that you can spawn on. And since there's only 1 squad leader per team, you should pick a squad leader class if you're good at staying alive. The soldiers do differ quite a bit from each other, and I will have guide videos for each specific class. But to get some quick information about a class, just hover over it and hold F1 on your keyboard. Picking the right class is not as hard as you think. But there is one thing that you should never do when it comes to the draft, and that is picking a kit and locking it as soon as you get into the draft. You're potentially ruining a good team composition for your whole team, which could be the reason your match is lost even before it started. So please do not insta-lock a kit in the draft. Instead, here's a list that I made in order to help you pick the right one every time. As soon as you get into the draft, press Alt on your keyboard to use your microphone and ask if anyone is comfortable with playing the squad leader. Did nobody say yes? Easy, go for one of the squad leaders. But in case someone did say yes, let them pick it. After that, ask if anyone is comfortable with playing one of the vehicle operators. Did nobody say yes? Then you should probably go for one of the vehicle operators, or decide that you want to play without a vehicle operator this match. If someone said yes, let them pick the vehicle operator, but obviously otherwise pick it yourself or decide if you want to run without one. After this, start thinking logically. At this point, the rest of your team may have already picked other classes, and now it's down to you to decide which will be the best option. If you get this far on the list, there should only be soldier classes left to choose from. Remember what I said about the maps earlier. In case it's a close quarter map, you may not want to pick something like the combat sniper or the mortar support. It's probably a better option to go with a soldier aimed at close quarter engagements. Same goes if it's Sinai Desert Redux, for example. You may want to pick the combat sniper unless your team already has one, or if you think the control leader that your teammate picked will be enough snipers for your team. If your team does not have an AT assault, that's a really good option in order to deal with the enemy team's vehicle, unless your team wants to gamble and hope for that the enemy team did not pick any vehicle. On maps like Amiens, the Trend Surgeon can also be a very good option, as it is a ticket-based game mode where every death matters. For the final decision, really just look at the classes your team has already picked and try to select the kit that will benefit your team the most. If you're not alone about having selected a kit yet, try and communicate with the others that did not select one yet and find out what guns and classes you're strong with to make the best picks together as possible. Players that don't pick a kit in time will be assigned a random kit. For short, just communicate with your teammates and adapt to their picks in hopes that they will adapt to yours. Now I know this might sound like you have to be good at every class, and this is not the case, because technically the more kits you know, the better of a team player you are. Even if you can't get the most kills every match, you can still be a big part of the reason that your team wins if you play your role with your kit correctly. This is also why the test range is good for beginning Incursions players to truly practice the weapons and gadgets that you're going to use in matches, since the classes are not the same as in the Battlefield 1 base game. Once everyone has locked their kits and the match is about to begin, feel free to choose your spawn point. On Sinai you will only have one option, but on other maps you will have the options to either spawn close to the objective or spawn on another point to potentially go for a flank. But I would say this depends on your class and your role in the game. If your job is to take down the enemy tank as an AT assault, then it could be a good idea to, for example, go for a flank. Most importantly though is that you play the objective. But be smart about it. If you are in a disadvantaged situation, like you and one more teammate versus 3 or 4 enemies, or even if you're the last man in your squad, then it's probably not a good idea to push, but better to wait for your teammates. Especially if you're a squad leader, make sure you stay alive. Oh, and if you're the raid leader class, please don't forget where 4 on your keyboard is. This is how you place spawn beacons. Something else to know about the kits. They all have 3 levels which will unlock different abilities for you. You can also read about those in the draft. Play the match and communicate with your team. Give the info you can and don't use your mic to talk about nonsense. That will only distract your teammates. Some good info to give could be that you're seeing X amount of guys in this area, one is low HP, it's their squad leader so it could be a good idea to push him, it's their tanker, maybe watch out for it in that case, and so on. You can also ask your team to wait, push with you, and so on. One good rule is that when you have a man advantage, then try and use it. Especially if you manage to wipe the enemy team, then make sure you push forward and hold them back. Also, think smart. If your team can't push an area, tell your team to equip smoke grenades and smoke that area off. You can also hit the tracks or the engine of the enemy tank. This will disable it and make it a lot easier to take out. This can also be done with any AT grenades, mortar, crossbow launcher, or even K bullets. The more you can work together, the bigger chance you have of winning the match. Don't go off on your own or try to be the hero and make risky pushes. Your highlights will come to you if you play smart. Trust me. Make sure you do your best and finish the match, no matter how difficult it might be. Leaving a match will result in a penalty later on, and if you disconnect for some reason, you can join back. Once you have 10 matches played, you will receive a matchmaking rank. Once you get this rank, you should hopefully get more balanced matches, as the matchmaker tries to balance the teams based on the player ranks. Currently, the only thing that will affect your elo or matchmaking points is if you get a win or a loss. So no matter if you get a good or bad KD in a match, in the end, it's only about winning or losing. The current ranks are bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and diamond. There has also been talks of an elite rank above diamond, but I have not heard of anyone with this rank yet. Each rank has 3 divisions, with 3 being the lowest and 1 being the best. So for example, the order would be bronze 3, bronze 2, bronze 1, and then silver 3, silver 2, silver 1, gold 3, and so on. You can also play Incursions with a friend by simply making a party and inviting them to it. If it doesn't work straight away, then feel free to use Origin to invite them. Party matchmaking is currently limited to 2 players to avoid too much team stacking, which would cause matches to be heavily unbalanced. However, if you want to play with more than 1 friend, then I suggest creating a private match. Alright, so these were some of the basics of Incursions. More videos to follow on classes, maps, strats, and more. Don't forget to subscribe in order to not miss out on this. Thank you so much. Since you got this far into the video, why not leave the word GLÖDLAMPA at the end of your comment, and we will all see how many people got this far into the video. But until the next video, I am President Slendy, and I wish you a fine day.